Plans for raining fires disclosed. In NCIS, Tony and Ziva Season 1 Episode 7, Jonah goes all out and gets warrants to bring Tony and Ziva out. Even at the tender ages of 7 and 12, viewers were able to see how profoundly Tali felt things in NCIS, Tony and Ziva Season 1, Episode 6. Even though it was difficult to witness the memories, they showed that she was her parents' best selves. Tali doesn't hesitate to defend the people she cares about, even though she has suffered because of their interpersonal issues and their history as NCIS agents. The closeness between Sophie and Tali is unparalleled. Despite all of the positive things that have been accomplished, suffering and loss are constantly there. The episode ended in the worst possible way as Tony broke down about losing Henry. For him, my heart broke. Fans could see Tony and Henry were close from the start of the series, even if Tony was Uncle Henry to Tali. It was horrifying to watch that bond put to the test, then somewhat restored, before Jonah shot Henry. When his best friend gave his life to rescue their family, Tony not only lost his best friend but also his faith that he and Ziva could protect their daughter. The relationship between Tony and Ziva is revealed in NCIS, Tony and Ziva Season 1 Episode 7. While remaining at the Italy house, Ziva teaches Tali a fighting move at the beginning of the episode. Tony steps out into the patio, where they all relax and eat a family supper. Ziva bursts out laughing when Tali asks him about being a member of Gen X, the forgotten generation, as he is gushing about the eggs he prepared. However, Tali's statement that her parents are not reconciling is the real gut punch. Unfortunately, it reaffirms how much she detested witnessing her parents fight during the episode 6 flashbacks to the 2020 safe home. The team gets Sophie to interrogate Ziva about her relationship with Tony while she is staring at Lazar through Jonah's window. Ziva is certain that they won't collaborate romantically ever again, and they immediately return to the mission. In the meantime, Tony discusses his feelings for Henry, Ziva, and Tali in depth with Archie, a child therapist. Although he is devastated by the loss of Henry, he encouraged Ziva to persevere in order to save Tali. Despite their lack of romantic chemistry, he believes Ziva is a solid co-parent and was happy to have her at his side. In addition, he acknowledges that he missed Ziva while protecting Tali and that he filled the void left by their breakup with work and Tali. Feelings continue to develop between them, and he still misses her. It's thrilling to hear Tony and Ziva admit they're reverting to their former behaviors. Until the very end, I suspect they will keep us in suspense about their intermittent romance. They are more than just co-parents and criminal partners, though. The way they gaze at each other and defend each other is based on real emotions. They have an unrivaled chemistry. They are sadly brought back to reality the following morning when Tali calls. Their daughter believes that since it would have benefited her, it is best that they did not get married. I was hurt by that one. She even criticized her parents for Ziva, claiming that Tony behaves like a child and is afraid to speak to her. Once more, she demonstrates to her admirers her level head and intelligence. Like her parents, she reads people and their circumstances for work. In a way, it is both painful and amazing. The past and present of Jonah and Martine. As the narrative shifts to their Parisian home, Jonah's loud shouting wakes Martine. Despite being free, Lazar admits to Jonah that he lied to him and that he is now a convicted escapee. After calmingly interrupting their angry exchange, Martine assures him that they can clear his conviction and bring him back to his son. He tries to ignore it, but she shows him that his son misses him by handing him printouts of the conversation logs from the 6 months she spent pretending to be him. She reminds him that they are eliminating raining fire as a whole, not just Aaron Graves. Their strategy begins when Lazar agrees to assist them. When Aaron Graves spoke at a raining fire event in Argentina in November 2014, Martine and Jonah in the audience appeared suspicious. They are seen flirting in flashbacks to 2015 and 2016. Jonah receives a text to meet someone after a man entices Martine away. He hears fighting as he makes his way to the room. It's Martine and the man. He assists her in tidying up her mess. She kisses him and points a gun at him despite the fact that he is assisting her. We now understand what genuinely united them. Jonah discloses in a heartfelt exchange that Graves killed his family, thus he assisted Martine in burying the man who was pursuing her. He may be deceiving her as well, but she believes him because of what we know from 2025. Neither of them is someone I trust. In a flashback from 2023, they still lack the resources to punish Graves for abusing kids, including Jonah's brother. This proposal has been in the works for years because Graves harms children and sells guns to presidents. Henry, Ziva, and Tony somehow became involved in their schemes. They may have needed someone to pinpoint the problem, but nobody is aware of how complicated it is. Will Ziva and Tony be able to cleanse their names? Claudette and Boris informed the squad that Jonah was simple to locate in Italy. When he got back to Paris, Larza was staying at his house. Jonah got Lazar out of jail, stole millions, and staged his disappearances, just to go back to Interpol. I concur with Ziva that something is lacking. They believe Jonah might be heading to the upcoming Raining Fire Weapons show. In 4 days, it will take place in Paris, probably as retaliation. Boris and Sophie become friends because they both have the same CIA bug guy, who can bug Jonah's house because all of his appliances aren't working. It was a strange yet funny talk that helped them bond, just like Claudette. Tali is informed by Tony and Ziva that they have decided she can remain in Italy. Nevertheless, they are returning to Paris to obtain evidence of their innocence, which also happens to be the location of the individuals who are framing them. After they arrived in Paris, they go to Dr. Lang's house because they must remain in hiding and cannot live in either of their apartments. Dr. Lang's roommate Archie reminds them that by asking Ziva's therapist for assistance, they are going beyond their professional bounds. As Tony eats some chips and annoys Archie, Ziva scales a roof while conducting recon like she used to. I adore how their new lifestyles incorporate elements of their old habits. Even though they are in Paris rather than Washington, D.C., it gives the show a sense of familiarity. In order to shoot a listening device for a clean link into the apartment, Ziva leaps from the roof and onto the balcony. They now hear Martine and Lazar's chat after she succeeds. Jonah gets a lot of warrants. Jonah lies about being imprisoned by Tony and Ziva back at Interpol. Because she doesn't think they would put him in jail and then blow up the prison he was in, the president of Interpol isn't believing it. By claiming that Henry's lack of wealth cost him his life, Martine strengthens the deception. If they want to beat Tony and Ziva, they need her assistance.